Okay, just to continue on, sorry we had to break the video up there, but YouTube only allows us 10 minutes. So on the roster page here, what I've got here is 3 content sections, all editable. In addition, what I did in the middle here is I've created a, what we call in .NET Nuke is a user-defined table. Um, and so this is actually in the middle here. This roster is actually a database table. And what that allows us to do is, say you had uh, a sports page, and maybe the person maintaining that sport, they're not so savvy with editing content. What this allows them to do is it's actually a form. So if I go here to add a new record, what you see here is I emulated what Rod had on the Shutterfly site. And what we can do here is add the player name, add their jersey number, add their position, add their parents. And then what I've done is I've created a photo link also. So if I go to File, I'm going to say a file on my server, and you'll see all the folders on the server. Some of them can be very daunting, and a lot of this I've got to clean up very soon here. A lot of it was for testing. But you'll see here, and the ones that we care about here is the gallery, the girls' basketball gallery. And you'll see I've got each of the folders. You'll see game faces, players, site, that test folder I just created. So if I go to choose players, what it'll actually do is it'll show me all of those pictures. Now, for my test, obviously I didn't do very well. This should have actually had some better meaningful names here on each of the players, but you get the idea. You can actually link to a player. So this makes it easy for a parent or maybe somebody else to maintain that sports page very easily without having a whole lot of in-depth knowledge. So it's all form driven. And the other cool thing is this form is all modifiable. So say you wanted to track the user's statistics, you could do that. We could create fields to track whatever. I mean, it's only bounded by your imagination. So we could really do a lot here with the roster page. And just like I created this form for the roster, we could create forms for the standings. We could create forms for really anything. Okay. And you can see each of these entries is editable. I can click the edit button right next to them. And you can see here Emily Brooks. We can modify it, that record. Okay. So there's a lot of potential to really create a template system for all the sports so that each of the sports pages would be consistent and they would each have similar capabilities. And we could make it so that once the initial look was set up, maybe we have a web savvy person actually do the initial look and feel, and then we let that parent or that that coach actually update the scores, and we'd have a form-driven system if you wanted to. Okay. Now let me show you editing actually some of the content sections. So I was showing you each of the pages has a content area. So if I want to edit this HTML content area, I'll just go to Edit Content. And what you'll see here is we've got this WYSIWYG, which you see is what you get, text editor. The first thing I would recommend if you're doing some editing is you're going to want to go to full screen mode, and you'll see this button here in the lower left saying maximize the editor size. So if I click that, my toolbar now goes up to the top, and I've got this full page editor. Just like working in Word, you can type whatever you want. Okay. You can highlight what you've typed. You can put italics. You can put bold. You could change the font size. You could change the colors. You can really do anything. Let me show you how to insert a picture. Up here on the toolbar, you'll see this picture, insert edit image icon. Okay, we go to Browse Server. And what you'll see is all of the folders that are on our web server for the booster site. And what I'm concerned about is the gallery. because I'm saying that the gallery is going to be the central spot where all of the site pictures should go. So if I go to girls basketball and I go to my test folder, my test album I created earlier, see all the pictures I uploaded. Okay? So I could go ahead and add a picture. What you're going to want to do is add some alternative text just so you're compliant with People's with Disability Act. Because those people, if a blind person might not be able to see the picture, but their web surfing software would actually enunciate what the picture should be. So you should always add a descriptive text. We can also change the size of the picture. Okay, so if it's too big to fit in the frame, I can reduce it. Okay, I could put a link on that picture if I wanted to. All the normal things that a HTML editor will give you. Rod's got a lot of Flash on his site. You'll also see there's a Insert Flash button up here, and all we do is give the URL for those Flash widgets, put in the width and height if we want to change it from other than default, and we add it in. Okay? So when we're all done, you're going to want to go back to minimized mode because you won't be able to see the save button here. Okay, because what we're actually doing is that content section is actually consists of this HTML area. Okay, so if I go and hit save, you'll see that my content section is now modified. So we can add more than one content section. Like I say, each pane I've added basically one. You could have more than one. Okay. It's really it's only restricted by your imagination, but I just wanted to give you a quick demo of some of the possibilities we have. One of the other things I want to add in here will be a blog module, similar to the blog that we have right on the main booster page. And basically what we would do is we would create a blog for each sport. And like you see here, I did a demo here for football. So each sport would have a blog, and the same person that was the editor for that sport, the coach or say Rod or whoever is in charge of that sport, they would be able to add new blog entries. And this is where you'll get most of your discussion coming in from students, outsiders, parents, fans. Okay, so that was just a quick demo. Thank you very much.